Hi, everybody, and welcome. I don't know if it's as rainy in your neck of the woods as it is around here, but it's the perfect day for a boss battle. Everyone's been waiting for this. It's the most crazy idea I've seen in a very long time when you have big companies allowing other small companies to throw their in so much as Image is small, they're not really. Allow them to throw their characters into a fray that is like the result of which are going to affect all of comicdom. It's crazy town. That and wrestlers are appearing this week. Got some supernatural stuff going on. Long-awaited graphic novel is dropping. Hold on to your pocketbooks because this week's gonna be crazy. See you in a second. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great day. I hope they're being safe. No lie, I have pictures of actual tornadoes today in Houston. It's crazy town. Let's see if I can show you anything. Here we go. Here's actual big old tornadoes with damage. Don't even know what to say. There you go. What's ya? That looks big, right? That's great. And it's been raining. It rained this morning, and then it started raining again at about 3 o'clock. So it's a little bit of fun. I can actually hear, sirens going on right now. So luckily I'm sandwiched between a big concrete wall and some other, I'm not underneath the mezzanine, but I could get there quickly. It's a pretty safe store. We've built basically a giant Faraday cage around in the store with the mezzanine being here. So we're pretty good. I hope everyone is, again, hope you're all being safe. Don't go out into the fray if you don't have to. And for all of my friends all around that are dealing with still being frozen and having no power, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. It's no fun whatsoever. But there's a way to escape all this. Oh, also, I want to congratulate some friends. Comics the Magazine is going to be coming out soon. And the final order cutoff for it was yesterday. And, everyone's super interested in, would a magazine, an actual print magazine about comic books, do any good in today's new, more digital focused, at least for news, place? And the numbers are in. 100,000 copies were pre-ordered. So make sure you talk to your local comic shop about getting copies of it. I think I have the 0 issue up here somewhere that is super rare. You could try to hunt one of those down. Unknown says no storms or tornado, just day 12 of below freezing weather. Oh, I can't even. I don't have any fat on my body, so I can't do really cold for very long. I basically live in layers. This is the least amount of layers I'm usually in, and we're not even cold today. It's actually hot because of the weather, the storms. It's like normal Houston stuff right now. All right. Worked in a freezer for 18 years and still can do the cold. Crazy. Jay, you're an amazing person. All right. Oh, you can't do the cold. I was going to say, all right, maybe that was a perfect combination. I can remember being in freezers a lot. I worked in pizza joints. You have to have a lot of time in the. Raise your hand if you've ever spent any time in a big walk-in freezer. That's most of us, I bet. All right, you guys ready to talk about comic books? There's a ton, and I did not even touch the tip of the iceberg for what I could have read. I just got handed comic books, and they were working hard trying to do pull boxes today. So, oh, sorry, dropping my glasses. Supernatural. Supernatural's been a very interesting series for me because I was not an original watcher of this show, even though it's on my list. I know I would like it. I know what the premise is, but it's just trying to figure out how to fit that in my life to be able to binge that. But I did read the number 1 of Supernatural that the series is running right now. I think it's up to number 3 or 4. And I have been very surprised that, like, even though I didn't have a ton of people put it on their pull lists, tons of people bought it off of the wall. So it's a very interesting thing. Honestly, as retailers, this is inside baseball for you guys. Sometimes what we do is a little bit trying to do Prof X stuff and looking, like read people's minds and look into the future maybe a little bit and try to figure out are people not putting on their pull box because they are just, they forgot to do it, they don't like a title, they forgot to tell us. So it is a lot of all of those things recently. So, and some titles truly people don't put on their pull boxes. I think it's one of those things, like if it's a week in which there's not $1 million worth of stuff in their pull box, they'll be like, oh, I'd totally buy that if I didn't, if the budget allows for it. So anyway, all this is to say, I've been really enjoying Supernatural stuff. This is a little single shot, seasons, not years, 5 years. Wow. It's a good chunk of time, came out after Smallville and lasted 5 years after Smallville. Wow. Okay. So a long-lived thing. I know that everyone loves Sam and Dean. For some reason, the Facebook algorithm also believes that I love them, even though I've never said anything about them, or I don't open the posts that are put up about them, and I haven't ever watched it. So I don't know. Maybe it's just like the AI saying, you must like this. And this one, it looks like they've kind of like gone to a small town. I don't know if this town is connected to them in the past at all, but it's neither here nor there. But you kind of notice while they're there that, okay, so they're at the restaurant and someone's on the phone, or no, there's two people that are arguing and they break up. They like have a spat and they break up and leave. And they overhear on the phone some woman is talking to their significant other, and they have a fight, a spat, and they break up. And so there's this like weird kind of like, you don't notice it 100% at first, but it becomes obvious that there's a big problem in which maybe there's something supernatural obviously going on, and they're trying to figure out what has caused this problem. And it is really cool. I'll tell you, there's always some kind of mythological creature or object or whatever that's responsible for what's going on. And they went deep for this. Not even from our part of the world. Really, really, really cool. And resolves very nicely too. So starts out, everything's bad, and then it turns out okay. Not to be too spoilery about it, but if you're going to make a Valentine's Day special, probably not everyone dies in the comic book. Just saying. That would be a bad Valentine's issue. All right, but next. I kind of feel like this stuff's related a little bit. All right, I know sometimes when they do these crazy crossovers, you think, why? Why would this ever make any sense? But given the fact that Archie has gotten more and more dark in its leanings, with like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, all of those books are pretty dark. And then they had like Jughead the Hunger, or forgot what the Archie book was. Or was it a specific Archie book that was like a long running book that was a more horror-y title?
Was it Afterlife with Archie?
That was it. Yeah. It was one of those things that like, it was a great, great book, but it took so long between issues that people forgot it existed. And I think it might still be going on. Maybe they're still trying to finish that series for all I know. But it's good enough for waiting for, honestly. It's like, sure, why not? So this one isn't part of Afterlife with Archie or any of that stuff. It is straight up Archie. Like the whole first part of the book is in straight Archie, gumball, sweet as candy, kind of like art, just like when you were a kid and you were reading Archie. And it's about Archie hanging out at Reggie's lake house, where the conflict is always that Reggie's a showy-offy guy. He's the rich kid in school, and he's a very big braggart. So he's braggarific. And Archie doesn't like that. And there is a ton of like conflict there, but they do find something in the lake house that ties you to the Army of Darkness line. And then as another side kind of story that ties it together even more, Archie promises, I think, Betty, a toy that you can, it's like a super like hard to get toy. Think like Labubu level hard. So he makes a plan to go and get a job at a place that might carry it so that he can have access to them. And then that also ties to the Army of Darkness world. If you are familiar with Army of Darkness at all, you probably can guess how all those things tie together. I really liked the way it ties together. It's very smart in the way that it's been written. And I mean, shoot, you don't have to really know anything about Archie or Army of Darkness to actually like this title, honestly. Because it's been a long time since I've read Archie, but you just have to know that Archie has two girls that are always like, we're fine with fawning over Archie. And then he's got great friends. Jughead likes to eat hamburgers, and Reggie's a smart alecky know-it-all rich kid. And if you know all that stuff, you probably know enough. So you could cross Army of Darkness with My Little Pony. It would be the most epic thing you've ever read. I mean, we need some like Deadite ponies, right? Don't we need Deadite ponies? Have there been Deadite ponies already? Are there zombie ponies out there?
I know there's a zombie pony like fanfic, but Deadite ponies, Miss Jen, that's $1 billion idea. You need to get on. You need to get on that.
I know a guy. Can you imagine if they actually did it? I mean, I'd read that book. There's already kind of like some dark ponies, right? It wouldn't be too far out of left field for it. All right, so this one is where I'm going to fully tap out. Get it? Tap the mat. Because I don't know anything about AEW. I legitimately tried to read this book, but I realized very quickly that they mentioned a bunch of character names that are clearly the wrestlers that I was like, I know this is supposed to mean something to me, but I don't even know. They've got all the characters on the page. I don't know which one that is to know what I'm supposed to look at. So it is a very focused on the love of this specific wrestling group for AEW. It looks beautiful. It's really cool looking. But hey, Nick, we just came up with the best idea ever, considering we just got through reviewing the awesome Archie Army of Darkness. And someone had suggested, I think it was Jay, that said you'd cross over Army of Darkness with My Little Pony. It would be the most epic thing we've ever read. And we think we need Deadite ponies now. So you need to start talking to IDW. Because we would all buy that book. And yes, you should hit thumbs up. That's the guy we know, by the way. It was like he got summoned. That's creepy. Hi, my friend. I hope you're having a good day. But anyway, I think that you should pick this one up, especially if you've picked up there was a previous AEW book. From what I understand and my inside information, this connection to the wrestling world is not accidental, and it's going to continue on. So lean in. Don't be worried if you are thinking why they keep on doing this. There is a reason, I guess. Not tied to, as far as I can tell, I don't think it's tied into any of the DCKO anything. I think this is its own fun.
This is such comic book wrestling fan service. I mean, folks, if you've never checked out wrestling comics, like there was a New Day comic that got released not too long ago. Our buddy Dirk has uh My Life as the Enforcer, the Arn Anderson story, and Butts and Seats, the Tony Schiavone story. Both are excellent books. If you can find those, pick those up and read them. I can't wait for this one. This one looks like it's going to be a blast.
Oh yeah. And both of those books, if you could not find them, you can get them from Dirk or you can get them from me because I definitely supported both of those books. See Batman in an AEW ring? Can you imagine? No, can you imagine? All right, Ultimate Endgame. This is going to take a little bit of a primer if you haven't been following Ultimate. This one very specifically ties into the Ultimates as a group. So if you're reading Ultimates, it's super helpful. Like for Ultimate Endgame #1, I told everyone to get the Ultimates book that came out that week because they are 100% tied together. It will definitely help you with the series. So if you didn't get that Ultimates that released last time, this title release, I would go back and try to find it just for continuity and keeping everything together. So this one delves right into that. You know that the maker has been kind of timed out for the last 2 years. He's been in the city, which is literally what they call it, where he has been kind of like pocket universe timed, whatever. And in the last issue, you found out that Howard Stark has been there also, and Howard's been working really hard to try to like figure out ways to get out of there, because as far as he can tell, there's no way out. You mean the Giving Tree? I love the Giving Tree. That's also very sad. Now I'm sad, Barlord. So this one has a couple little storylines that are moving the story forward. It is mostly about the story with Tony trying to figure out Howard and why he is stuck there, what he's been doing. Has he made any progress in trying to get out of there? You definitely don't want to have the maker out. And it's a little bit about them trying to figure out a good way to defeat the maker. And then I'm going to check really fast because I have a feeling this is also the one. Sorry. Oh, yeah. And this one also leans in heavily to the fact in the last book you had Black Panther kind of like getting one of his people. I don't want to mess things up for you guys. To try to go in and kill, like his whole purpose is to kill the maker. So I guess that would be ideal, maybe. And I really love the whole Death's Head storyline, as Howard Stark basically says kind of like which one, because Death's Head's been stuck in there with them, different versions of Death's Head, like which Death's Heads were the best Death's Head. And I think you'll really giggle a lot about like that storyline is kind of funny about how that works out. But anyway, this is great forwarding on of the storyline. Just know that this kind of like culminates an issue. When did they tell me it was going to finish? I had a meeting about this recently. It's either number 4 or 5. And whenever that last issue is, I will tell you that I've been told that it will change everything. So definitely have that book on your pull, even if you don't care about the rest of Ultimate stuff. It is going to mean something pretty huge. So anyway. Storm. I know that you guys have been kind of following her story. If you picked up the Age of Revelation books that were the Rogue and Storm story, where Rogue, despite being really good friends with Storm, needs to go after Storm to like kind of like there's something about what needs to happen between the two of them to further the story. And I cannot remember how it resolves now. I read the last one. It's a good thing to like go back and pick that last one up that's between them. And it's called Rogue Storm, by the way. This is part of the Shadows of Tomorrow, which is like a storyline that's leading up to the next big thing, which is the Age of Apocalypse or something of Apocalypse, which is the next big arc. This one is very interesting. So this one focuses in on the fact that she is so powerful, but she gets challenged in this one by another character that I don't know if I knew existed before. Let's see if I can come up with a name, but not foul it up for you. No, I can't tell you that part, but what's this guy's name? Name is Susanoo. And the whole story that is taking place is like the main story arc is this character, Susanoo, has asked Storm to be his second in I forgot what it's called. It's a Japanese rite of when you have someone else behead you after you've seppuku. Is that right? And it's a problem because Storm also has a rule that she doesn't kill things unless they're threatening her people. So they have to figure out a way around that, I guess. And then there's another storyline that's kind of going along and paralleling that, but that it bookends the story and has implications to the story. So if you love Aurora and you like to see her trying to work through her ethic conundrums, and she's godlike, so there's not a lot that can touch her, this is a great book. It's really beautiful too. Okay, I will fully say I thought this was going to be the dumbest thing on the planet, but I should just know better because they always come up with really cool ideas. So the book starts with the Fantastic Four already on the Planet of the Apes planet. They don't remember really how they got there. They don't know why they got there. And they're on trial because how dare they be humans that can talk? There's something wrong with that. And so they're basically there for crimes against ape anatomy. That's the best way to say it, because humans are supposed to be non-talking slaves that are just blunt tools for the apes to boss around and treat like cattle. And the cool part about the story is that you get part of the way in and then it goes back and gives you a jump back to what happened before to make this all happen. And it kind of makes 100% sense. It's really kind of very clever way to get them there. And then I will also tell you that there is a huge twist at the end, because what happens when the Fantastic Four shows up on this planet, they don't have any powers, including the thing he doesn't look like rock, suit can't be invisible, etc., etc. Johnny can't flame up. So that puts them in an odd spot. And then something really crazy happens at the very end of this. And by the way, Doom is not a lie on this. Doom is actually in this book. So if you're a Doom fan, you should absolutely pick it up. And other than that, yeah, you don't have to know hardly anything about either things. It gives you enough information about the apes and Fantastic Four themselves. So a great place to jump on. Magic and Colossus. Man, I love these brother-sister things. I learned a lot of stuff. Like, I did not know, or maybe I had forgotten, that they had a sister? Is it a sister or brother? That has died. Gone missing, died, whatever, recently. And this kind of jumps back into when they're much younger, like the kids and stuff that happened to them back then. And other thing that I did not remember is that I guess that Magic had some kind of like dark version of herself called Darkchild that comes out that even Peter is kind of scared of. So this is really and truly an adventure that requires them to draw on each other's strengths and do stuff despite each other's weaknesses. So this is a great start. Think of like if you liked the standalone Magic book or stuff like the Phoenix or Psylocke, those mini series that have been happening. This is kind of that speed. Seems like it's going to be just an easy, beautiful art series. Hi, Kenneth. How are you doing? How's your collection? Dork. All right, I actually reviewed this book back when I had just the preview copy, which was not a complete issue. It was kind of like an ash can version of it. So this is a story about a place in which there is a dark side and a light side. The orcs are on the light side, and the dwarves are on the orcs are on the dark side, and dwarves are on the good side. I don't know, one or the other of them. And then there's a sliver that's in the middle that's kind of like neutral territory. And when you meet this character, he is in the neutral territory, and there are some kind of creatures sitting around a fire, and they're cooking and eating a unicorn. There is a character that shows up who is a frog wizard named Frizzard, and they make a big to-do about his name. And what else can I tell you about this without ruining anything? There is a long ago prophecy that everyone has been looking for, this creature that's supposed to be from both worlds. And of course, this character is. And he goes to actually say his name in the book, but they never let him say it. And because he says that he's a dwarf and an orc, that they call him Dork. So hurrah for him. He's been stuck with Dork. But the cool thing about this one is this is perfect for people that like Kit Wallace books, that like this is the style, or like the barbaric books because of the talking axe, or other books that have talking swords or any of those things. His little shield there has a giant eyeball on it and talks, and kind of gets him in trouble. He's trying to hide, and this guy totally he did some I hate fairyland stuff. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that makes a whole sense. Legend has it that only a vegan can slay a unicorn. Poor Dork. That's hilarious. And there's so many funny things, like the words and the way that they're said by some of the characters make it funny. He's silly. It's so funny. It's half dwarf, half orc, all dork. This is a fun image book, y'all. If you've been looking for something to just like enjoy the like more cartoony art, like you would see, of course, from I Hate Fairyland. And it's that kind of more adult stuff too. This is not for, even though it looks cartoony, it's not for kids. But it's not like super, super adult either. But anyway, it features, I'm gonna give you my pitch for it. It features a ghost chicken. Ghost chicken. You'll have to see how the ghost chicken appears. But it is a character that actually exists through the end of the book. So sold. The ghost chicken did it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Boss battle. I know you guys are waiting for this. Okay, so the setup for this book is that there are two characters that have decided that they need to generate more energy, because this happens directly after what happens in DCKO 3. And what you see at the very end of that is that, of course, it was something that was kind of like alluded to in issue number 1, that the Absolute Universe characters were going to show up. And so they did at the very end of that book. You see them fully. And this is kind of like oh no, our final 4 that are supposed to face those guys. So our final 4 are Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor, and the Joker. So that's who we ended up with all the power. And they're going to be facing up with absolute versions. They're going to be facing absolute Superman, absolute Wonder Woman, Booster Gold, and shoot, Fire. I forgot who the other person is. But that doesn't happen in this book. But they realize that our heroes are going to need much more power if they're going to have any hope against these characters that were essentially created by Darkseid anyway. So I don't know. This feels like a fixed game. So they make these rifts between our world and other worlds, other places, so that they can fight their champions or whatever, so that they can gain more energy, gather it, and give it to our heroes so they have a hope to when they go up against these guys. So I'm sure that you guys know by now, but who you end up with over to fight are Highlander from The Boys, which is a Dynamite property. Also from Dynamite, you get Vampirilla and Red Sonja. You also get Annabelle, which gets matched up with Joker, which is hilarious. And you also get, what's her name? Susanna, I think is the name of the bear from Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees. Samantha, thank you. S names are so hard for me. And I think that's all of them. Oh, no. And also Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. So, oh, and I forgot Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat / someone else that shows up too from the same universe. So, great fights. I would just tell you, and it's already leaked out on the internet, there's no resolution necessarily of these battles. The point of them is to fight long enough to get a whole bunch of Omega energy. So if you have your heart set on knowing who would be 100% the winner in any of these situations, I think it's, you get pretty close to knowing, but I really like that they leave it open for interpretation. But it's also a really, really dope idea to do, right? To at least give us like a first look at what if these characters got to open up against each other, what would happen. So really and truly don't miss this book. It might be the only time we ever see DC characters go up against any of these other characters. I can't think of another reason why they would ever do such a thing. So support it. Tell them it's like when you get all of this stuff crossed over, it's so cool. I love that companies are playing each other's universes, and it's really upped the game. So I'm excited.
This right here to me is the coolest thing I never thought in my lifetime we would get. Look at the names of the companies down at the bottom, y'all. So this is DC, Archie Comics, IDW, Dynamite. NetherRealm, I think, is the Ed Boon thing, and then New Line Cinema.
Yep.
Oh, I never in my lifetime thought I would see a crossover like this. So this is just the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing.
And I also, what I would really, I wish I could have been in the room or in the process for how, like, even if they thought, okay, this is what we should do as a storyline, how did people just be like, hey, we're thinking about doing a crossover? Do you have characters you think might be able to stand up against any of your DC characters? Do you think that there was like a giant amount of them that like got submitted and they were like, okay, well, none of these guys would stand a chance against any of our people. Not that one, not this one. I just wish I knew.
I'm positive. There were probably so many characters they wanted to do, but they just couldn't find a way to make them fit. I'd be really interested to see some back matter of them being like, yeah, we were going to have these folks in there, but we couldn't make them. Oh, I'm so excited for this. This is such a great thing. Like, again, I said it before we even started the show. What a great time for comics. All these crossovers, all these companies working together for the fans. This is incredible.
Yeah, no longer are we stuck in our little fanfic universes where we're like, well, what would happen if so-and-so fought so-and-so? We'll just have to imagine it for all of our lives. Like, now we get to see it. Love it. All right. No lie. I know that the next issue of Batman is supposed to be the one everyone's like, woo, about. everyone, you should absolutely make sure you have it on your pull box before that comes out. Just saying, from a girl that knows things, you definitely need that book. But this one is like a full follow-up to, so in issue number 5, remember he asks the doctor out on a non-date, I guess, and immediately after they sit down to have their gathering meal or whatever it is, they start getting attacked by ninjas and whatever that bike gang thing is. It's was fully a crazy event. And then during that, one of his sons shows up, right, and sticks his head into the fray, and Bruce isn't happy about that. So this is kind of like the aftermath of like him sitting with her. It almost looks like they're in like the blankets that they give you. They're like crinkly blankets if you've been in a police situation and they are trying to keep you from going into shock or whatever. It kind of feels like that to me, but I don't know where the blankets came from. But it's like the first whole page is them just sitting next to each other. I don't think they say anything to each other for the first whole page. So it is that story. Then it's him going home and having a discussion with 2 of his sons. One of his sons, one of them, like, of course, the guy who shows up, is it Damien that shows up? That he tells him, like, please don't ever do that again. This is not for you to be doing. You're not ready for that kind of stuff. And then it's a very heartwarming other son interaction. And then what else can I tell you? I want to wreck a whole bunch of stuff of this. Oh, the art in here is like 100% Crazy Town. Is it this one or is it the Superman that I was just like, I don't know who's doing the art right now, but oh my gosh. Oh, it is Jimenez on Batman. It is just as good as it always is, but the next one is going to make your heart bleed, your eyes explode out of your head. But anyway, don't miss this issue. See if you can go back. I think there's some reprints of some of the issues for Batman this week. I think there's 2s and 3s maybe that are coming out again. This might be one of the best runs of Batman. I'm just full stop. Just say that. So good. All right, here's the one that is like the gorgeous art. So this art is by Ferreira. I don't know if you can see that. Ferreira. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Please forgive me because your art is so incredible. When we saw the last issue of Absolute Superman, the very last page, I think you saw Hawkman show up. And I think basically what he says is like, I am not a bad guy, I think, or he says, I'm a good guy, or I'm on your side, or something. It's something to indicate that, like, don't try to kill me. I'm a good guy. Well, this gives you origin story for the character, which is really, really great. I don't know if it's the same or similar origin story as real Hawkman. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to be able to enjoy it. And it's very interesting, this dynamic. I will tell you that the mood and tone between these 2 characters at the beginning of the book is not the mood and tone between these characters at the end of the book. It is very intense. So my favorite part of the early part of the book is when they're first talking to each other is John will like just be gone and come right back. And he was like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, there was a cat stuck in a tree. Sorry, got it done real fast. I'm back to talk to you. That really pisses off Hawkman, by the way. Real mad. This one also has a really cool bonus preview of Bleeding Hearts. DC Vertigo is coming up soon. Don't miss out on adding those to your pull boxes. They've done a good job this week of having a bunch of previews of the titles that are headed your way. These are not, there's a bunch of new Vertigo titles that have never happened before. It's not just them throwing Fables back at you or Sandman back at you. This is new stuff. So if you like kind of more dark, I don't know. That part of the universe has always been very interesting to me. So I'm assuming that since so many people watch Sandman, that they probably like that part, kind of the universe part. So think about adding that in. Wow, I blew through the ones that I was doing. Yay! And Green Lantern. Oh my goodness. Okay, so when last we left the group, Joe, former, maybe they're still married. I don't know. Did they get a divorce? Joe, who is the blonde ponytailed agent who was previously in a relationship with the Green Lantern girl, they are hiding out because in the most recent issue, they on purpose dropped some information about someone's location and an I think maybe the Green Lantern girl, which I can't remember why I can't remember her name right now. She's a really cool name. But they like had just an internal dialogue about where the location was, and then immediately bad guys showed up there. And so they think they figured out, narrowed down who it was. So it means that they have got to go to ground. And the storyline is so cool. Somebody starts having like visions because one of the agents, you remember, she tries to explain it better, that she doesn't have the ability to see into the future, but she can have she has like very close things that are going to happen, like impressions. So all she says is that she says there's something green and then something red, I think is what she says. And then she says also if she touches objects, she can learn something from them, from touching them. And she takes the ring and holds the ring. And when she is in her little like stupor of seeing stuff, you see a bunch of stuff that is so cool. So if you were wondering, like this moves forward very much the I can't remember his name. Oh, it's bad when you can't remember actual like lanterns names. There's John Stewart on the front cover. You see Tom Array there. And who was the kid that showed up that's the main lantern all the time? Anyway, you guys are just going to get surprised, I guess. But see, this is where I'm weak, when I don't know every lantern's name. I'm just expecting someone to pop it on there, all of the lantern names. Anyway, this one has a huge surprise at the end. Huge, big surprise. Gigantic reveal. The cover is slightly spoilery, honestly, I will say. But it is just 100% awesome. Green Lantern in the last few issues is just like ramped it all the way up to make me actually care about lanterns, even though I don't have any, like, obviously any good background with lanterns. I can't remember anybody's name. But if that's Tom Array, he looks like a Dragon Ball Z character and dope. Yeah. Yeah, it's when the reveal happens and words are said, you will probably squeak a little bit. So loving it, loving it, loving it. And there's all kinds of like no, it's like the old school lantern. The one from the movie.
Sinestro?
No, like the actual, the one that Ryan Reynolds played. What's that guy's name?
Hal. Yeah. Hal Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Remember he showed up at the end of the last one where they're like, "Oh, who are you?"
Oh, okay. Hal Jordan, yeah.
Yeah. I don't see why. I kept on my brain kept on giving me Kyle, and I was like, "No, I don't think it's Kyle. Stop giving me Kyle." When you guys get to be a girl and have menopause, you will understand the whole, like, I cannot remember names to save my life, and my brain will do this to me. It'll say, "How about Kyle? Is it Kyle?" And I'll be, no, it's somebody else. Hold on, give me a different name. Oh, I know what it is. I know. It's Kyle. No!
Yeah, I personally am not looking forward to that myself.
You just have to be forgiving, because what happens is we'll just start saying words that are associated until it comes to us. We're like, I know it's in there. It'll pop out eventually. Darn it. So, and also this week is going to break the world because we finally get volume 2 of Absolute Batman, which everyone's been waiting for, because you cannot get almost every issue in this catalog, which is 7 through 14. good luck. Like in the last week, we sold every single copy that we have of Batman except for the one that just came out. We have number 1s and number 3s. That's it. People are hunting down 11s or 10s and 11s, and that's also impossible. So here's your chance. You got that one and hardcovers. I don't know how deep your comic shop might have gone in for them, but you should absolutely run that walk for a great many books this week, honestly. The DC Connect is out this week, so you can find out about stuff that is coming out in April, which looks like some really cool stuff. If you are into cool webtoons, now is the week to get volume 3 of the Kiss Bet, which is adorable. Grab some 50th printings. Yeah. Also, it's time to get Batman White Knight. Awesome Sean Murray little compact. Like as usual, it's still $10. And then Fantastic Four Fanfare, that little short series that they just got through doing, also comes out this week. Was there anything else? Oh, don't miss your opportunity to also get ahead of Superman, Spider-Man, the new stuff. If you ever wondered, did they ever cross over before? They sure did. But this is the big Treasury edition, just the way it came out the first time. And also, Savage Sword of Conan continues to be a huge seller in our store and sells out all the times. So don't miss on that. Yeah, I think that's it. And there are a ton of other books. Like I didn't even talk about any of the other DCKO crossovers, which you absolutely should pick up. And there's a ton of cool indie things. So pick those up as well. Right after this, definitely call your LCS so you can make sure to get all your stuff. And then coming up in about 12 minutes, I'm going to be coming back and selling the books I just showed you, plus all the rest of the stuff that comes out this week so you can make claims. And grab up those goodies. And then, is there anything else coming on tonight, Jay?
Yeah, at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, we're going to have a dollar book blowout sale with Henri. So be sure to tune into that after more Miss Jen next.
Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here for a minute to skim it. And we will see you guys in a little bit.